Alright, YouTube. So, like I was saying, shout out to my subscriber Chris. He asked me if I could shoot a video on how to ride. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So in the beginning, like I said, you always want to inspect your bike. You want to make sure your fairings are tight. Make sure that you have proper air in your tires. You want to check your chain tension. Make sure your chain is not loose. You want to make sure you don't see any leaks. Check your lights, your blinkers, all that good stuff. I showed you how to turn on a Suzuki Gixxer. You know, each bike is different. I show you how to cut on mine, and now I'm going to show you basically how to take off. So right now, I don't know if you can see that little green light. That means I'm in neutral. What neutral means, you basically, just like a car, you can move the bike like I'm doing with my feet, backwards and forwards to get it to where I want it to go without it launching me off as if I was in a gear. So what I'm doing now is called power walking. So I'm just walking it with my feet, and I'm going to show you just basically on my street. So now I'm on the street. I'm in neutral. I can roll the bike forward. I can roll the bike backwards in neutral. Now I'm about to use my left leg and kick it into gear. In order to do that, I got to place my left hand, hold the clutch in. Now I'm in gear. Not going to even touch the throttle. I'm just going to play with the clutch. And with the clutch, you just want to ease your hand open, take your feet off the ground, and with the clutch, release it. And your bike is moving. And that's just with the clutch. And while you're moving at low speed, if you steer the handlebar to the left, it's going to go to the left. If I steer to the right, it's going to go to the right. That's only good in low speeds from like 0 to like maybe 10 miles an hour. Beyond that, you have to do what's called counter steering. I won't go in deep detail on that. I'm just going to show you the basics. So again, I have not given my bike any throttle. I just placed it in first gear, and I'm just letting it roll. Okay. Hand still off the clutch. The bike is rolling. And if I want to stop, I'm going to hold in the clutch, go over to my front and my rear brake, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I'm squeezing with my right hand and pressing down on my foot, and the bike stops. And you want to put your left leg down like a kickstand to brace you from falling over. So again, we're just going to take off. Ease your hand off of the clutch. When you feel like the bike is moving, let it go. And steer. Well, I'm sorry, I had to give a little gas, well, throttle. I got a car coming. But once this car goes around me, we'll continue. And yes, I'm a fan of using both brakes. I know some people only use front brake to stop. Some people only use the rear. I use both. That's just how I was taught. I went to the MSF class. That's a motorcycle safety and familiarization class. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, I have a car behind me, guys. Give me just a second. Let me let him go around, and we'll continue. Yeah, okay. So, again, just working with the clutch until you get more comfortable. Then you can ease in working the throttle. So again, I start opening up my hand, and I released it, and the bike is moving. My other hand is on the handlebar just for guidance to keep the bike straight. Now I'm not giving any throttle. I'm just moving purely off of the clutch. and the bike is rolling. I'm in first gear. Now as you get a little bit more comfortable, you want to give it a little throttle, not much. Giving it throttle simply means you want to twist the throttle back towards you, if that makes any sense. In class they call it roll on and roll off the throttle. So I'm rolling on the throttle. I'm going about 11 miles an hour. Probably can't pick that up, but that's how fast I'm going. And that's basically the basics. You have to start. It all starts with the clutch. You got to get comfortable with the clutch, because if you don't, the bike is going to cut off, which means stalling. I'll show you right now. Let me show you what that feels like. So I'm in first gear, and if I just take my hand off real quick, it's not going to throw you, but the bike is going to cut off. Okay, it threw me a little bit. It jolted me, so the bike cut off because I didn't ease off the clutch. I just let it go. But you have to ease off of it. Once you feel like the bike is about to take movement, then you just let it go, and then you give it some throttle. And from there, the bike takes off, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and take off because I got cars coming behind me. So again, to do a jigsaw, you have to hold in the clutch, press the starter, start it back up. And I want to take off, so I'm going to hold on to the clutch, let it roll a little bit, then release and give it some throttle. And now we're coming up to a stop sign. And what I plan on doing, I'm going to go to a big empty parking lot, and I'll get more in depth with this. It's a beautiful day outside. There's a lot of vehicles out here, so I really can't teach you on the street like how I basically learned. Because yes, I went to the motorcycle safety course. And the motorcycle safety course, it gave me some good guidelines to go by. But your real teacher is when you're out by yourself, and you got to figure it out. Okay. Stop sign. And again, I eased off of that clutch, gave it some throttle, some gas, and I shifted. Now I went from first gear to second gear, and I'm about to shift again. Third gear. I'm about to shift again. Fourth gear. Sorry about that. Something's in my eye. Eyelash in my eye. Alright. I'm in fourth gear. Now I'm about to shift up to fifth gear. And I'm leaning. My subscriber Chris asked me what was the biggest thing I struggled with. This is it, buddy. Leaning. I'm getting a lot better at it now, but this is really the only thing that scares me, because if you do this wrong, you can fall off the bike. I'm in fifth. I'm about to shift up to sixth gear. Now I'm at the top gear. This is the highest as far as gears I can go. And from this point, it's all about muscle memory, playing with the throttle, counter steering, all this stuff you'll learn if you go to the motorcycle safety course or if you read a book. Speed limit's 55. I'm going slightly over the speed limit, but I can come down to 55. Now as far as shifting gears, I guess the easiest way to explain shifting gears, whatever number that you're in, that's the gear you should be in. So let me try to explain that a little bit better. From 0 to 15 miles an hour, first gear. From 20 to 29, second gear. From 30 to 39, third gear, and so forth and so on. So 40 to 49, fourth gear. 50 to 59, fifth gear. 60 and above, you should be in sixth gear. That's probably the easiest way I can explain it. Otherwise, you can shift gears based off of, the term is called feeling the engine or listening to the engine. The engine will tell you when you need to shift, because it's going to get so loud that and it's only going to go so fast. So if you're trying to do, I hate to say it, if you're trying to do 100 miles an hour in first gear, more than likely you won't be able to do it. I said more than likely. I didn't say it was impossible. But if you do, you're wreaking damage on your bike. You're wreaking havoc on your bike. So again, I'm at 20 miles an hour. Hopefully you can see that. When I get to 29, shift to third. From 30 up to 39, shift to fourth. From 40 up to 49, shift to fifth. From 50 and above, like I said, from 50 to 59 mph, I would shift to fifth gear. I'm gonna kind of slow down. I got a police officer up here. I believe the speed limit on this street is 45, so I'm gonna chill out. Yeah, that's one way you can do it. Shifting gears is going by the speed limit is one way you can do this. Again, listening to the engine is another way, and I will show you guys. When I get on the freeway, I'm gonna let this engine just roar loud and crazy, and it's gonna be real annoying. But that's the engine telling me, hey, you need to shift gears because I can't go no faster, and eventually I'm gonna overheat, and I'm gonna start breaking down. And as I'm approaching the stoplight, I'm downshifting. Everybody does that differently. And it all depends on the situation. I mean, trust me, I don't do all this by the book stuff every day. I'm just trying to, be a good teacher for YouTube. But it's sometimes I'll roll up here, like I'm in a car, and before I come to a stop, I just shift through all the gears. Not the best way of doing things, but a lot of people do it. It's just the lazy man way of doing things. So right now, I'm in first gear. I'm at like 36. I don't know if you can hear it, but my motor is begging me to shift gears. What the hell is this guy doing? I hate it when people do stupid shit like this. This guy's finna take the car out in front of me and possibly me out just so they can just hop out. And then they wave like, hey, sorry. It's just stupid. They could have waited. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. I was going to show you like how the engine sounds when you need to shift gears. So the engine will get loud and very annoying because you're pushing it to the max. And it needs to be shifted to the next gear in order for the motor and everything to function properly. I'll show you here in just a second. I'm gonna get on the freeway. Most of the time on the freeway, you want to be in fifth or sixth gear, preferably sixth gear if you're trying to get the most out of your gas mileage. You want to be in sixth. Well, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be in first. And I'm going to show you how loud this bike is going to get. I'm about 50 miles an hour, and I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that. My RPMs is at 10, and it feels like the bike, it sounds like the bike is about to explode. So now I'm at 60 miles an hour. I'm not going to redline the bike, but you pretty much hear how loud it is. That means I need to shift the damn gear. So I'm about to shift the second. And you hear how it's smoothed out. Now I'm about to shift the third. And I'm about to shift the fourth. And I'm about to shift the fifth. And I'm going to shift the sixth. And now all you should be able to hear is my voice and the wind. I know I kind of moved through the steps a little fast, but again, I'm going to go to a big abandoned area, preferably a parking lot, and I can get more in detail of how to do this. Because honestly, that's how I learned how to ride a bike. I learned how to ride a bike off of researching YouTube videos. One of my favorite bloggers, he goes by Straight 05 Speed. Y'all make sure y'all check out his YouTube channel. And that's how I learned how to ride. I watched him, he did the same thing. He walked through the steps. He was at looked like he was in a big abandoned parking lot. And he made it so simple. I was like, damn, I can jump on the bike and do that. And that's how I want to explain. That's how I want to explain it to people as well. Just give people some nice, simple, easy to go by instructions. So it's so easy a caveman can do it. Because prior to this, okay, got some traffic coming up, so I'm gonna have to downshift. It's just like in a car. You wanna, and I just downshift. I don't know what gear I'm in. It's third. And as you're doing this, you're not gonna always have time to look down. You just gotta get the feel for it. I think I'm in first. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna keep it around second and third. I should be okay. In traffic, around second and third gear, you should be okay. If you're in a state like me where you can't lane split, that'll keep you at a nice steady motion without your bike possibly cutting off. I'm in first. I'm gonna go up to second. So second gear, like I said, that's roughly around miles per hour, 20 to 29. Don't quote me on that. That's just that's my justification of how I do my gears. And that should keep you moving steady in traffic. And of course, if you want to shift up to third gear, you can do that too. And like I said, that miles per hour range should be about 30 to 39. And I'm about to shift up to third. My bike numbers, everybody says, oh, you shouldn't start on this bike, that bike. I say, and like I did, go with every bike that you want and you're comfortable, that you think you'll be comfortable on. If that's a damn 200, get a 200 and learn that bike, master that bike, keep it, sell it, and get you another one. Move up. If you're moving up from a 200, go to a 3. Or if you want to jump past that, get you a 600. Get you a 7, so forth and so far, all the way up to a liter. Don't let bikes scare you. The bike will only do what the rider on it makes it do, or the operator on the bike. Whatever the operator makes the bike do, that's what it's going to do. Because honestly, I feel like I'm okay with my 750, but since I've been on it, I won't say I've completely mastered it, but I know it well enough that I think, man, I want to get on a liter bike.
A leader bike is 1,000 cc's and above. So yeah, some days I wish I would have went with a 1,000, but I am glad I started off with this one because it definitely humbled me, made me respect bikes and bikers a lot. Because I still have a car, and I just have a newfound respect for motorcycle riders, and I'm constantly looking for them. At first, I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for them. And I figured, I know a lot of people are like that too. But now that I am a bike owner, when I see a motorcyclist, I get out of their way. I try to I've always given them space. I never tailgate somebody on the bike. But I try to get out of their way, let them, go on what they're trying to do. Get to where they're trying to get. It's like how they say, put yourself in someone else's shoes. A lot of times when you do that, your whole outlook is completely different. Completely different. And I want to just reiterate, a lot of people think guys on Harleys or just choppers are bad people, and they're thugs and they are murderers and all this and that. Most of the nicest people I've met have been on the chopper, on the Harley. Those people are way more friendly than folks on sports bike. A guy on a sports bike will try to race you before he speaks to you, because he just figure, okay, let's see what your bike can do against mine one-on-one. Versus a guy on a Harley or a chopper, a cruiser period, he gonna talk to you. He gonna have a conversation with you at the light. He not waiting for the light to turn green to burn off on you. Most of the guys on sports bikes, like I said, man, they don't speak. They barely give you the wave. If you happen to be near a guy on a sports bike at a red light, 9 times out of 10, he want to race you. That's straight up. When that light turns green, he gonna take off on your ass. He wants to race you. He not trying to speak to you, nothing like that. Like I said, every person I've met, well, I won't say every, most of the majority of the people I've met on choppers and cruisers, they always speak. They always tell me to ride safe. And, totally opposite of what the world depicts of them, and even what I thought, because I was basing it off of what I saw and heard on the news. I heard from somebody else. Oh man, that guy on a chopper, he probably racist, or he got a gun, he got a knife, he'll kill you, and all this and that. Man, those guys are just trying to enjoy the day and the ride, and they got a brotherhood. And like I said, some of the nicest people you can meet on cruises. And I'm not saying everybody on a sports bike, like on a crotch rocket like me, is an asshole either. But most of the ones I encountered have been. But nah, I met some good people too. Met some good fellas on sports bikes. I'm headed over to my boy's house. I'm gonna cut him and his little brother up. Get them some nice fresh fades, so they can continue on the rest of their week and their weekend looking right. I know everybody pretty much knows, unless you're a baby, people get paid on YouTube videos and all this and that. I'm not getting paid to do this. I do this because I enjoy doing it. And a year or so from now, of course, it'll be nice when I do start getting paid off of this. But I'm not trying to profit off of anybody, nothing like that. So I would never force anybody to do something that they don't want to do, just to put them on my channel to try to get some views and all this and that. That's just not me. I'm not that type of guy. Most people don't even know I got a YouTube channel. And my reasons for that, because even though your friends and family should be your biggest support system, I'm going around this guy, he's going too slow. I forgot what I was about to say. Well, even though your friends and family are supposed to be your biggest support system, a lot of times they're also the ones who shoot your dreams down. You're like, what do you mean? For example, sometimes, some friends will support you. Most of the friends that will support you, they will either be a new friend or a lifelong friend, like somebody you met when you were kids, or a new friend, someone you met recently, you may have been knowing for a couple months, or just maybe a year or so. Those in-between people and family members, if they don't have nothing going on, or they could be jealous and envious, they're not going to support you. And it's crazy because they always want you to support them or come through for them, but when you need something from them, they won't. So I did tell most of my family and friends about my YouTube channel, and I want to say I have a pretty decent sized family. Family wise, only I think one or two people, and I'm talking about my cousins, actually subscribe to my channel, and I got over 10 cousins. Only 2 of them subscribed to my channel. They all thought this was stupid, asked me why am I doing this, blah blah blah. And yeah, like I was saying, but anytime they need me, because I'm a barber, they want me to come cut their hair, cut their son hair, I'm always making myself available. To subscribe to somebody's channel is free. I'm not asking them for any money and no blood. I just simply ask them to, subscribe to my channel. Never even ask them to watch or like. Just ask them, hey man, just subscribe and then tap the bell. And if and when I post something new, you'll get an alert. And if you feel like watching it, watch it. I'm not forcing nobody to do anything. But yeah, I couldn't even get my own people to support me. Most of these subscribers on my channel are people I've never met before. And I appreciate it. Crazy. They're either, most of my subscribers, like I said, are people I've never met before, or it's like new friends and acquaintances, people I just met recently here. And these people are rocking with me and supporting with me, and I salute that and I appreciate that. Shout out to you guys. You all know who you are. And I'm not talking about, my mom, my wife, and my little brother. They, of course, they subscribe to me, but I'm talking about you others. And y'all know how I am. I'm not going to do anything different. I still got nothing but love. I'm still going to show up, support, and whatever. I just think it's messed up. I can't get the same. But I'm going to end the video right here. As you can see, my buddy bike. I'm finna go in and chop him up. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.